Go ahead, Caleb.
If you have one. I'll start. Congrats on the win, Pablo. Kind of a roller coaster of a game a little bit there, especially with the first 30 minutes. Obviously, didn't want to see those guys have to go out. I guess what was kind of your mindset as things started to go maybe not the way you wanted, but then you ended the half on what seemed like a good note, I guess.
Yeah, I think getting results in any league there's so many variables to it, and a lot of times we try to break it down to possession or shots on goal. There's an unlimited amount of variables, and tonight having two guys go down in the first half is not something you ever planned for. So the mindset from that point on is, we got to make it to the 75th minute before we unload. We can't risk. And so the conversation at halftime was making sure everyone's in a physical condition to be able to endure to the 75-minute mark. And I thought, the guys that started the game and the guys that came into the game played a really good game. And I think defensively as a group, we're doing a fantastic job and creating a lot of great opportunities in the counter. Just the commitment from the guys up front, Saba, Andres, Rubio, Anderson, and then Danny, is just really committed to making it difficult for teams to play, and in doing so, making it predictable for the guys behind them, which then, winning balls in the midfield. And I think the first goal is a great example of that. Jasper, intercepting the ball and combining with Danny and scoring a goal. So I think, through all the hardship that we've been going through, there's definitely a lot of silver lining in the performances, and I think, it's great to put three very good performances, back to back. So it feels good, and I think it validates all the work.
And then this is the second game in a row you guys have won at home, and also the second game in a row home that you've scored 3 goals. What is it just about this environment, I guess, that you guys have been able to feed off?
I think in our league, home is a big advantage. I think guys vibe off the fans, who have been fantastic. And I think, like I said, I think as a player, you play for that type of environment, and it really brings the best out of the guys. And there's just a different vibe, obviously, here at home. So, I think we learned a lot from those games, those points that we dropped early on. But I think we're moving in the right direction.
Bueno, Pablo, el triunfo es el convencimiento, ¿no? Es a pesar de perder la semana pasada, sales con el mismo equipo porque estás convencido de lo que estás haciendo, ¿no? Y yo creo que lo transmitiste y lo vimos en la actuación del partido del equipo hoy, ¿no? Cómo estaban convencidos de lo que hacían.
Sí, no, yo creo que, como dije, los últimos 3 partidos hemos jugado bastante bien con el mismo grupo, y para mí la confianza viene cuando se ve lo que va a hacer el compañero, el movimiento del compañero, tener un delantero que puede traer el equipo adelante y el otro delantero que estira la línea defensiva. Y pues lo veo durante la semana y lo vi los últimos 3 partidos. Así, para mí es muy importante tener la confianza primero en uno mismo, pero también en los compañeros. Y este grupo andan muy bien. Claro, vamos a tener que hacer 2 cambios la semana que viene, pero yo creo que la mentalidad del grupo, estamos muy bien en este momento.
La última cosa, Andrés Gómez hoy metió un golazo, pero aparte de eso, el crecimiento ha sido espectacular en tan poco tiempo, ¿no? La confianza que le ha dado al chico es tremenda.
Sí, yo creo que también hay cosas fuera del fútbol que afectan jugadores, ¿no? Yo creo que ha encontrado un grupo con varios compañeros, se juntan para comer, toman clase de inglés juntos, se ha acercado mucho con el Anderson y el Saba y Brian Vera, y son como hermanos fuera de la cancha. Yo creo que eso le da mucho confianza para afuera del campo, pero también cuando está jugando, como son hermanos, y yo creo que eso ha ayudado bastante. Y también nuestro entrenador de arquero, Nacho Hernández, los lleva a comer a todos los latinos, y eso son cosas muy importantes, especialmente para un pibe que viene de Colombia y está en un país nuevo por la primera vez en su vida.
All right. A couple of questions. Obviously, talking within the game, last week's game, they came out with the same team today. The question was, you obviously like that lineup and what you saw in that group to bring them out today. Yes, we think the last 2 games we have played together with the same group, and the confidence comes when you see the movements of your teammates, having a forward that we know is going to bring your team forward and a defender that's going to defend. The team also has confidence, and this group is doing well. Obviously, 2 changes we'll have to make for next week, but the group mentality is great. Next question is in regards to Andres and his playing and development here. Of course, there's things outside of football that affect the game. He's doing better, though. He has a good group of friends, is taking English lessons, and has gotten very close to Anderson and Brian Vera, and that gives him confidence and has helped a lot. And Nacho, one of our coaches, takes everyone out to eat. All of the Latinos, they all go out to eat. And obviously, having that is definitely important.
Hey, Pablo, congrats on the win, and thank you for your time. I feel like it was a bit of a rough start to the season, some really tough games, some tough weeks for the team. As of late, the team has been playing a lot better. This might be a little bit of a difficult question, but are you able to identify maybe 1 or 2 things that kind of have changed, and from your perspective, what you see that's helping the team really click right now?
You know, I think we all want things to go in a vertical trajectory, whether it's off the field or on the field. And really, life and sport are all about overcoming obstacles, you know, and I think we didn't get off to the start that we wanted. You know, and I said to the guys, you know, last year we had a flying start, one of the best in club's history, and we had a battle in the last game at home to get in the playoffs. So it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. And just seeing, one of the biggest things I've seen is really Savarino's mentality, which has a direct correlation to his play. And he's really, I've never seen him work so hard defensively. And again, it's I don't know if it's cliche, but defending is about team. Attacking is about individuals. And when you buy into the team, it's amazing how the game rewards you with great attacking opportunities. And he's capitalizing on it. He's putting his, you know, against Dallas, he put his head where few want to put it, being one of the smallest guys on the field. And so he's been a huge catalyst to everything we're doing. And when he's in a good way, I feel like the group's in a good way. You know, and on the offensive side. And then the guys in the back have been just stalwarts, and the guys in the midfield have been the engine room that we anticipated having. So again, we speak about individuals at times, but it's really about the collective mindset. That's really, and because again, I can have all the belief in the world. If they don't believe it, we're not moving forward, right? And I think it's a testament to the characters of the guys in the locker room, and the experienced leadership in there, that really drive this thing forward.
Ymir Krylak, coming off an injury, notably on the bench, available for this game today. Was the decision to not play him or give him any time today on the field, was that a tactical decision, or was it kind of health related as well?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, right? So Dami sat out for a week, and putting him into this game, you know, there's some questions about, you know, how he'd respond being out for a week. But also tactically, you know, we had to make a right back sub, which wasn't anticipated. We had to make a midfield sub, which wasn't anticipated. And then we had one attacking sub that we wanted to make. And Chang being the consummate professional, up a game, up a goal, he's just the way he defends from that advanced position is fantastic. And so every game, you know, we'll provide us with the changes that are necessary. You know, it would have been great to get Dami out there, but again, I think it's important for us at this time to make sure that we're doing everything to secure the 3 points.
Lastly, on a short week, your team plays Las Vegas Lights in Vegas midweek for the Open Cup game. You kind of let us know on what we are to expect for the team as far as lineups go, and how you're kind of handling that quick turnaround.
Well, again, I think today, you know, losing 2 guys today definitely changed a little bit of that, and we got to be cognizant of the season as well. But you know, like I told the guys after the game, it's a short week. We want to make a run in this tournament, you know, and you know, last year I don't think we had the ability to do that for a multitude of reasons. I think this year we're putting a really strong team, and it's something that we've talked about internally that we want to make it go. And so it'll give some guys that haven't had as many runs, but there's going to be a wealth of experience on the field as well to make sure that we protect some of the younger players. But there will be a wealth of experience and a very good team on the field.
Pablo.
Hey Pablo, solid performance from the team tonight. Obviously a couple early substitutions, I know you touched on it a little bit already. How do you feel like that impacted the game, and how do you feel like the team responded to those early changes?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely impacts the game. There's never a time where you plan on making a sub before half for two reasons. One, and the most important one, is you burn two of your three subbing opportunities. But again, you have to adapt, and I thought the guys adapted well, and they were dialed in on both sides of the ball. So again, you can't control some of these things. These are outside influences, but the way we can control them is with mindset and our ability to go out there. And the guys that step on the field do a great job. And like I said, every single one of those guys that stepped on the field did a really good job.
Pablo, thanks for the time as always. You talked about the subs now. What does Diego Luna have to do to get on the field? Because this felt like a really positive opportunity for him to see some minutes.
Yeah, like I said, there's a case to be made for every guy in that locker room. I don't have a favorite player. I love all of them. They all provide something unique. And so through the course of the week, you assess, best position, opponent, how it's going. But for me as a coach, the most important thing is chemistry. It's not about an individual player. It's about how does this player affect the group, and how in both the good and the bad, right? Because every player's has to have a weakness. And so the way I looked at, it's not about giving Diego Luna a shot in this game. It's about putting the guys on the field that we need to win the game. Because again, you can make a case for Demir, you can make a case for Miram, who had assists last week, right? And so every player deserves to be out there. And the difficult thing is not being able to play 30 players. That's the most difficult thing. And again, like I said, we want to make a run in this cup. I think Diego will get a run on Wednesday, and with again surrounded by some experienced pros, and look forward to giving him some minutes in the movie game.
Las lesiones de los dos jugadores, ¿sabes algo de ellos?
Nah.
¿Pintan feo?
Si salen en el primer tiempo, me imagino que no andan bien. O sea, si era una lesión. El Anderson es un jugador muy dinámico, muy rápido, y siempre, por lo menos una vez por año, tiene la misma lesión. Y el Rueda dijo tampoco que podía arrancar para hacer sprint. Y para mí me imagino que va a tomar una semana para recuperarse.
Question was just in terms of the two injuries today, if we think they're bad injuries, if they had to come out of the game, I would imagine they're a little bit complicated. Anderson is a very dynamic player, very fast, and at least once a year he tends to have an injury. Vera said he couldn't sprint, so that's kind of what we're looking at, approximately a week till.
Hemos visto al equipo más agresivo.
Espera. Congrats on the win tonight.
Thanks.
3 goals in the past 3 games for Savarino. What does he bring to the club that you absolutely enjoy?
Again, he's a killer in front of goal. Like, a lot of times you want to teach people to score goals. He's got obviously he has the technique to do that, and a lot of players around the world have the technique to do that. It's really an instinct and a real desire. And like I said earlier about the goal that he scored in Dallas, that's not one where he's on the ball. That's him off the ball, putting his head in a dangerous spot to get it knocked off, right? A lot of guys don't even dare go into those spaces. And so he's got this real drive to score goals. And then when you do that, the effect that it has on defenses allows space for other teammates to get on the ball. And so that's what great attacking players do, is they create opportunities for themselves, but they also open up space because of the psychological threat that he's going to get on the board. And so, I think Saba last year there was a big learning curve coming into our league, coming into the team, coming into the way we want to play. I think in the last 3 games, he's really been a catalyst. And again, everything that we're doing from an attacking perspective, and now you're seeing his work defensively, which is tremendous for the team.
Pablo, felicidades por la victoria. Fue un partidazo el que hizo el Real Salt Lake hoy. Me gustaría saber cómo está el ánimo del equipo para enfrentarse el miércoles en Las Vegas, y viene un duelo muy importante contra Seattle, ¿no? Que es uno de los derbis, por decirlo así, ¿no? ¿Cómo está el ánimo? ¿Cómo se encuentra el equipo? Y cómo ha mejorado el equipo esta victoria.
Yo creo que para mí el equipo está en un momento bueno, estamos jugando bastante bien. El partido contra Dallas jugamos muy bien, pero no sacamos resultados. Y para mí veo un equipo que tiene mucha potencia, que en este momento estamos fuertes mentalmente, físicamente, estamos jugando con calidad con el balón y ya tenemos mucha experiencia con partidos que no fueron como quisimos, pero en este momento yo creo que el equipo está muy bien psicológicamente. Yo creo que el partido, como dije, queremos competir en esta Copa del US Open Cup en una manera diferente que el año pasado. Creo que tenemos los jugadores para hacer un buen trabajo en el torneo y para ganar. Y ese es el desafío del grupo, prepararnos en los próximos días para ese partido. Y también enfrentar a un Seattle al fin de semana que viene, que andan muy bien. Y yo creo que es otro partido jugar en casa que jugar de visitante. Creo que vamos a estar listos para Seattle.
Muchas gracias.
I would like to know what the team mentality is at the moment, especially going into Vegas on Wednesday and against Seattle next weekend. How's the team doing right now, and how have they improved? I think for me, the team is going through a positive moment right now. We are playing well. In the game against Dallas, we played very well. We just didn't get the results. For me, I see a team that has a lot of potential, that is strong mentally and physically. We are playing a quality game. We did have games that didn't go our way or the way we wanted, but right now the team is doing very well. We want to compete in the Open Cup differently than what we did last year. I believe we have the players to do it, and we want to win. That's our goal, to prepare for that game and also to go against a Seattle team that is doing very well.
Let's do
Dylan?
Hey Dylan on Zoom. You're up.
Hey Pablo, just circling back a little bit on Andres. You mentioned kind of his acclimation and how that's been going, which has been a positive for you. What a two-parter? What do you think? I know sometimes potential is a dangerous word, but what do you think of his potential? And also, do you think he's kind of a perfect complement to Savarino?
Yeah, no, I think his potential is just, he's got all the tools to be world class. I think one of the things coming from Colombia, they played a different scheme. The style of play is different. Our league's much more transition based. There's a lot more structure in the attack, and those are things that he's learning as he's going. Understanding the channels that we want to occupy in the attack. If our outside back's on the wide channel, he's occupying the half space. And then after that, it's really his movements that have to occur a lot earlier than they're occurring. And that's why I think now he's finding a lot of success in transition. Because again, the game's open at that point, and then he's not really thinking. So I think he's got all the tool sets. His 1v1's great. His ability to work back is fantastic. The goal he scored tonight kind of speaks for itself. I think he's a player that a lot of people don't realize. He took a couple shots in the first half. He can really strike the ball and does it with both feet. And the other part of his game, I think that we need to continue working on is running without the ball. I think all the stuff that we saw from Colombia was him running with the ball, and he's a player that has the ability and just needs to bring that into his game and make that a bit of habit. But again, I think you know, Andres could be a world-class player, and you know, is that in the next 3 years? Is that 4 years? Is that next year? You know, like you said, potential is a dangerous word, and I think if he keeps trending in the direction that he's moving in, I think he's going to be a fantastic player in this league.
Sorry.
And then just the compliment to Savarino, you think?
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. You know, the way we're set up is our creativity comes from one of our wings, right? So Saba, when he plays, Miram when he plays, they have the freedom to really find the half space and central channels as well, because we always have 2 forwards pinning high, and so Saba, so that position on the left wing in particular is creative, more flexibility, and our setup, that's where I like to have our creative players. And so on the opposite wing, you have more of a Chang, you have Andres, which are more direct, more getting in behind the back line. And so the way we're set up, I think the complement for Saba is Andres. And the great thing too is they have a really good understanding of each other's movements, and they look for each other. And so I think it's a real nice combination to have.
One last question, and then we'll get to Jasper.
Okay, so for Wednesday, lately we've seen the team that has been coming on, we're more hungry, wanting the ball, wanting to control the game, and wanting to just get up there. You know, for Wednesday, I would expect the same 10, and if it goes well, are you going to give priority more to that cup, or are we still fighting for everything?
I think the tricky thing is striking the right balance. You know, I think every team goes through that. You want to make sure that you're not putting players at risk minutes wise, but you also want to compete the right way. So guys that played a lot of minutes, and again, our physical numbers in the last 3 games have been very high, and I think it shows in the performances. And so it's always striking a balance of guys that are playing well, but not getting the minutes for whatever reason, and then bringing in a couple guys that are getting regular minutes as well to kind of steady the ship. And I think that's always a balance to juggle around. And then with that, you know, the fact that we lost 2 guys today in the first half is changes that a little bit, and we'll just have to figure out the right setup and the right guys to be able to approach that game midweek the right way.
Thank you, Pablo.
Thanks, guys. Ladies.
Hey, Jasper.
Banger.
Hello.
Good, how are you?
Good.
Yeah? You
Yeah.
give me that look.
All right.
Congrats on the win and the goal, Jasper. You had kind of a unique celebration, just like kind of calm, and maybe a couple different things going on there. What went through your mind, I guess, as soon as that goal went into the net?
I didn't even see the ball hitting the net, so I was like very confused. You know, like rolled over, and then I just like saw the fans cheering, so I was like, oh, I think that went in. So, and then just I don't know what I did, just let emotions run. You know, it's always nice to score. It's not my specialty, I would say, but especially at home, I never had that feeling, and just emotions took over, and like I just felt like, yeah, show us something. I don't know. That's what came out of it. So yeah, guys always make fun of my biceps being bigger than my quads, so I felt like maybe I showed that off. But yeah,
There you go.
just a joke, kind of.
Yeah, and then you kind of touched on the other. Do you want to switch mics?
Yes, please.
The other thing I was going to mention, which is playing at home, and just kind of like the energy that brought. I mean, you guys have gotten back-to-back wins at home, scoring goals, a lot of goals at home. What is it about this environment that you guys are kind of feeding off right now?
I feel like we felt it last year, and I think we just want to have that feeling back, kind of getting the crowd involved and just bringing the game to the opponent, and don't like really sit back. It was a tough game today because I thought San Jose did a really good job of just moving the ball, so it was like very difficult to like get our pressing situations right and all that stuff. But I feel like we managed the game well. Finally, I think that's like we have to take advantage of that a little bit more and just like try to manage games a little bit better. Let them maybe have the ball for a little bit better. Try and rest a little bit more and don't go all out. But yeah, it's really about just bringing the crowd back, bringing the fans in the stadium, get a sold out again, just have that energy that anybody who comes in here just feels unwelcome. You know, like it should be hard for anybody to come here and just get some points. And I feel like we haven't made it hard enough on a couple of teams who came here end of last season and beginning of this season. So just hope to get back to that standard that we have for ourselves to just whoever's coming here, be ready for a fight for 90 minutes.
Just very congratulations. It's just an experience. It's not only you. I was calling the game and say go, and I say, hey, it's goal. Yeah, just it's goal. Oh, you know, it was very impressed. Everyone said, just it's goal. So, and it was a very, very good shot. So, what happened in your mind when you got ball? So just kicking the ball.
Yeah, it's I played it to Danny, so I like got the ball, read the cue well, played it out to Danny, and just like continued my run. And he had the option to go left or right. He chose me. I thought the ball was a little wide, so like had to curve my run again. And like when I look up, I'm right-footed, so my initial thought was curling it around the goalkeeper, like front post. But I felt like he made it hard on me to like take that option. So my second option was always, and I talked to Tomas, our second goalie, all the time because we do a lot of shots, and he's like the most annoying thing for a goalie is if you hit it really hard right next to like anywhere around his head area. Because most of the guys, like when they come out, if it's a one-on-one situation, they have like a reaction save on it or something. So I just don't want to give him that opportunity and just try to hit it as hard as I could, like right next to his head somewhere. And fell over because I just tried to hit it as hard as I can. I broke a camera too, I think. But I hope I don't get fined for that.
Congratulations again in the last one. We're here from Pablo, but what about you guys? The expectation for the next game and Wednesday.
Oh, like make it better than last year for sure. I feel like we had a lot of good players, a lot of depth in the team, and I think like maybe rotation's gonna come in and maybe give other guys a chance as well, like we did last year. But the way we practiced over the last 2-3 weeks was outstanding. I feel like you couldn't really tell the difference between the guys who are starting and the guys who are coming in. I mean, you've seen it today with Danny coming in after like 20 minutes, and Oviedo, he's ready anytime. So it's always good to have the guys out on the pitch, and I feel like they will take a chance. They want to prove something as well. So whoever's playing that Wednesday match is going to be 100% all in. I mean, it's a cup. You know, it's not a friendly game where you try and just kick around or something. Like it's a cup. You want to go far. You want to win something this year. So I feel like we didn't manage to get it last year. So this year we have to step up our game a little bit better. I feel like a little bit more, and really bring the game to them and go for the win.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, congrats on the goal, great goal, and we've seen you game improving a lot on the past couple of games, especially with formation that we're doing. Besides the incredible goal that you had today, I wanted to ask you the incredible connection that you're having with Pablo Rueda. How is that? How do you guys go in training? How do you guys talk about it? And obviously because of the language barrier in there.
I feel like me, Pablo, and Marcelo have like a really unique bond coming from last year into this year as well. We do a lot together, so it's just I'm really take pride in playing next to not only those two guys, but like especially the other guys as well. And if you see the quality we have out on the pitch, I just feel like I have to like be on my top level to get out the best of them as well. You see Savarino, you see Andres out there who's warming up, who's getting more confident. Got his first goal as well. Just like so happy for those guys, and as long as I can do my job and get the best out of them, and they don't have to worry about defending that much, I'm all for it. With Pablo next to me, I just feel really confident. It's really like we're kind of similar in the way we go about games. It's like ride or die kind of thing, you know, like leave it all on the pitch. Sometimes maybe being a little bit too aggressive, a little bit dirty as well, you know, make it hard on the enemies. But I feel like that's what a game needs sometimes, you know. So didn't agree on the yellow card today, but it is what it is, you know. But I feel like with us in the midfield, like we rotate so much, we try to cover so much ground. I feel like it's just a good thing going. And yeah, the connections get better over time. Like I feel like we have a good group together now. We get more and more in a routine kind of thing as well, because we don't have that much rotation like we did in the first couple games sometimes. But yeah, I just hope to keep building on that. Hope to keep winning more and more games and get the thing rolling.
Yes, thank you for your time today, and congrats on the goal as well. The question that I have for you is just kind of about like the contrast of the beginning of the season and now where you guys are at. Obviously, the beginning of the season was very difficult for you guys. You mentioned a couple weeks ago, I think, that you learned a lot from kind of those difficult days and those difficult times. Can you kind of just talk about like how the team is feeling now in the locker room and how the team environment is, despite the loss last week against Dallas? I thought the team played pretty well. Like, how is the team feeling right now after a good result tonight?
Yeah, like I feel like you always have to see it in perspective, kind of. Like if you look at the games we had at the beginning of the season against, let's say, Columbus or even St. Louis, I feel like we kind of let ourselves down a little bit. And if you look at the result last week against Dallas, it's also a loss. But like you said, we felt quite confident, as you can say, about the performance. We just, really learned in a kind of way that if we play the way we play, we trust the system that we're playing, the formation, and if we trust like in each other and the abilities and like all the things that make our guys special the way they are, we are pretty decent team in this league. We're pretty hard to play against and pretty good to like going offensively as well and score some goals. So just kind of the focus for us really lies on remembering that and just like don't let that confidence slip away again like it did maybe in the first couple of games. I don't know if that was 100% the case, but I feel like by now there's more of like a automatism, kind of like people take people on 1v1. You go in for tackles where you would normally hold back. You see guys just doing their thing, what they're good at, you know, just letting all that stuff going. And I just feel like from players to coaching staff, it's just like a really good job over the last month, I would say, to really commit to that process, to dig ourselves out of that hole. I don't think we've done it yet. I still feel like there's a lot of games to be played. You can't really tell if we made it over the top right now, you know, but I feel like we're on a really good way and just hope to keep that thing going.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Just a couple more questions for Jasper. Are you guys good? Okay, we're good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Good night.
you.
All right, we're gonna do Gomez and Savarino likely together, so give us a minute to set up for that. Anderson's here. Like, of course, Anderson. You guys.
We should be good on this one.
Okay.
I'm just getting these my audio hit. I might
That's
do it.
fine.
Need some wires. Make sure that, a little closer. He was a little far away on that last one.
All you, babe.
Goodness.
Coming.
No pressure.
No pressure.
You can do it. Most of this?
Yeah. So you guys can ask in English and we translate.
So you can start with something.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. ¿Quiere empezar? Yeah. And then I'll pass on.
Tell me, let's do the translation after the question and before the answer too. Thank you.
Ok, muchachos, felicitaciones. Presumíamos el juego pasado que eran goles sudamericanos y ahora podemos decir también. Los dos marcaron, felicidades. Andrés, ¿cómo te sientes en este momento después de conseguir lo que me imagino estabas buscando? Y felicidades también, Jefferson.
The question was, well, congratulations. Last game it was all South American players that scored, and tonight once again we can say the same. Andres, how do you feel to what I imagine to be something you've been seeking this entire time?
No, pues primeramente, gracias a Dios por conseguir ese primer gol. Y pues no, muy contento porque hace rato lo venía buscando. Pateaba de todos lados. Estaba ansioso por encontrar el primer gol y gracias a Dios soy yo.
First of all, thank God for getting my first goal, and I'm very happy because it is something I've been seeking. I've been seeking that goal left and right, and thank goodness it did happen tonight.
Jefferson, preguntarte con respecto a que llevas 3 partidos anotando goles, 3 partidos consecutivos anotando al menos un gol. ¿Cómo te ha caído el sistema de juego de Pablo después de pues un inicio de temporada complicado? ¿Has sabido llegar más en línea de fondo? ¿Has mejorado o has estado entrenando para definir mejor también? El de hoy fue un muy buen gol, por cierto. ¿Qué es lo que has estado trabajando para poder conseguir esa posibilidad de poder estar anotando goles con tu equipo?
The question was for Saba. 3 games and you continue to score goals. How has Pablo's system worked after a tough start to the season? You guys have played deeper and have gotten better, and today that was an incredible goal. What have you been working on to be able to consistently score?
Bueno, sí, pienso que, como dijiste, tuvimos un mal comienzo de temporada, sin embargo ganamos en Vancouver y luego de ahí no habíamos podido ganar. Pienso que pasaba más por confianza de todo el grupo. Cuando todo el grupo tiene confianza, creo que individualmente llegan las cosas. Y bueno, agradecerle a Dios por marcar por el tercer partido consecutivo. Espero seguir mejorando, seguir aprendiendo todos los días y ayudar al equipo, que es lo más importante.
The answer is yes, like you said, we did have a tough start. Vancouver, we won, but hadn't been able to win since. But it's a confidence thing across the entire team. We do have confidence among each other and amongst ourselves. Things have continued to come into tact, and I thank God for being able to score in multiple and consecutive games.
Felicidades a ambos por los goles y por el juego, ¿no? Mi pregunta es para Saba. Como decía el compañero, llevas 3 partidos consecutivos marcando. Esta semana fue muy buena para la sub-17 de Venezuela, clasificó a su mundial. Con tu aporte y lo que puede aportar la sub-17 y la mejora en el fútbol venezolano, ¿cómo crees que se prepara la selección Vinotinto para el próximo mundial y las eliminatorias?
Sí, pienso que, bueno, esta es una pregunta de la selección. Creo que la selección en los últimos partidos ha estado muy bien. Y bueno, primeramente felicitar a la sub-17. Creo que hicieron un gran esfuerzo con poco tiempo que llevaban con el entrenador. Felicitarlos a todos. Y bueno, invitarlos a que sigan aprendiendo. Sabemos que son jóvenes todavía, pero que tienen un futuro por delante muy grande. Y por supuesto que esto nos puede ayudar más adelante en la selección mayor, que está en un gran momento también la selección. Esperemos y esto podamos llevarlo a la eliminatoria para poder llegar.
Gracias.
The question is for Sava in regards to Venezuelan U17 national team as they qualify for the World Cup. Sava's response to that was, I think the team in the last few games has been really well. Congratulations to them. In the short time that they've been with their coach, they've been able to get a lot done. I hope they continue to grow and take this opportunity to grow. And I think they have a bright future ahead. And of course, this can help the national team for us in the future.
Thank you both for your time tonight, and congratulations as well on the win. My question is for Andres. What did it feel like getting your first goal here in front of the fans? And how long have you been working on that celebration?
¿Cómo te sentiste de anotar tu primer gol aquí en casa y háblanos sobre la celebración después?
¿Y cómo?
La celebración después.
Pues como dije, primeramente muy contento porque me estaba buscando, sin embargo había varias asistencias y pues no, de la emoción no sabía qué bailar. Bailé a lo último porque Rubio se me acercó, pero quería bailar con la afición para que fueran aprendiendo un poquito.
His answer, I'm very happy because it's something I've been wanting to do. I've been seeking that goal, but I've also been able to get assists. And obviously with all the emotions running through, I didn't know what to dance to, but I knew I wanted to dance. I ended up dancing at the very end. I ended up, gracias. I ended up dancing at the very end because I did want to dance with the fans just to teach them a little bit.
My question's for Andres. Congrats on the goal tonight. You seem to get a lot more comfortable as the season has gone on, as you've gotten some more games under your belt. How do you feel like you're starting to fit into the team and the system as a whole?
Felicidades, obviamente se te nota que estás más confortable y cómo piensas que tu juego, cómo te has ajustado aquí con el sistema y todo eso.
No, pues muchas gracias. No, pues un gol, pues sea como sea, le da más confianza a uno como jugador. Y pues poco a poco he venido tomando la confianza que me han dado los compañeros, Savarino, Anderson, pues me han ayudado, me han aconsejado en muchas cosas. Y pues el profesor me ha cogido, el grupo, a pesar de que hemos tenido errores en la cancha. Y no, pues bien, contento con el grupo, por cómo me están dando la confianza. Y poco a poco voy a ir soltando mi nivel que tenía.
One goal in whatever way you get it definitely gives you confidence. And little by little, I've been gaining confidence with my teammates like Savarino and Anderson. They've helped me a lot and advised me on a lot. Of course, we've made mistakes, but we keep it moving. I'm very happy with this group and that they're able to give me that trust.
A question for Jefferson now. Jefferson, it seemed like you've really enjoyed playing up top, but can you kind of talk about your chemistry with your teammates right now and how that's all working for you and playing up top with some speedsters like Anderson and Andres up top? How is that playing with kind of a faster paced offense?
Saba, ¿cómo te ha gustado jugar hacia arriba? Y obviamente jugando al lado de Anderson y Andrés, ¿cómo te has sentido, especialmente en la ofensiva? ¿Y cómo está el ambiente entre el equipo, entre ustedes?
Por supuesto, cuando se gana el ambiente mejora. Me siento bien jugando con Andrés, con Anderson, Rubio, con Dani, que entró hoy. Muy feliz de jugar con ellos, estamos entendiendo un poco más dentro de la cancha y eso es muy importante. Pues sabemos que tenemos muchas cosas por mejorar, siempre lo digo, aprender en los entrenos, los partidos, seguir mejorando y bueno, sé que más adelante llegarán más goles y más asistencia para nosotros.
I think the chemistry and everything gets better, of course, after wins. It's even better when we all feel great, especially with Anderson and even Rubio. We're understanding more what to do inside the pitch, and that's important. We know we have things to work on, and we always say that during trainings and during games, and important things to keep improving, and we know more goals will come.
Gracias, Jefferson. Gracias, Andrés.
Andrés, una pregunta para ti. Pues has hablado un poco con respecto a tu adaptación al fútbol aquí en la MLS, pero ¿cómo ha sido para ti ahora la adaptación a una vida diferente de Colombia a Estados Unidos? ¿Y qué tan importantes son tus compañeros en tu equipo para ayudarte a adaptarte en eso? Porque es importante, claro, adaptarte aquí para poder comprender también y sentirte más como jugando en una liga tan diferente como es la MLS a como se juega el fútbol en Sudamérica.
The question is for Andres. Obviously, you've talked a little bit about adapting yourself to the style of soccer here within MLS. How has that been like for you, and just generally a different life from Colombia to the United States? How important has it been for you to have your teammates to rely on in this process and being able to further understand the game?
Pues con respecto a sobre lo de la adaptación, pues al principio fue muy complicado para mí, pero poco a poco con la amistad de Anderson, Savarino, pues los latinos, he ido como creando ambiente, porque obviamente venezolanos, ecuatorianos, casi las mismas costumbres de los colombianos, y pues eso me ayudó mucho también, y poco a poco me voy adaptando. Mucho frío.
Llegamos casi igual, así que yo siento lo mismo.
También, Andreas, yo también. In terms of adapting, at first it was very difficult for me, but little by little, especially with the friendship of course, Anderson and Sava and mostly the Latin players, they have really helped me. And obviously Venezuela and Ecuador is very similar to the Colombian atmosphere and the Colombian way of living. And of course that helps. But also the cold weather. The cold has been a little difficult.
This is for a question for both of you guys. What are you guys looking forward to come Wednesday for the US Open Cup match?
La pregunta es para los dos acerca del partido el miércoles de Open Cup en Las Vegas. Así que anticipa.
Bueno, pienso que el profe ya estará pensando en ese partido. Sabemos que es un partido de eliminatoria y debemos de ir a ganar, imponer con nuestro equipo. Por supuesto el profe ya elegirá los jugadores que estarán ahí para ese partido. Y bueno, esperemos y consigamos la victoria, que es lo más importante para seguir avanzando en la Copa también.
I think coach is already thinking about that game actually. It's a big game and we need to go in there to win for our team. I think he already knows who will be traveling for that game, and it's important for us to go in there and do well to advance.
Enhorabuena a los dos por meter el gol, y mi pregunta es para los dos de ustedes. Obviamente están nerviosos para el miércoles, y si meten gol, ¿variarían juntos los dos?
The question was in regards to Wednesday's Open Cup game. If you guys score a goal each, will you both be dancing together?
Si te invitas, sí.
Si me invitas, sí.
If he invites him to dance with him, yes, he will be dancing together. Anyone via Zoom that has any questions? Dylan, anybody else? All right. Listos, chicos. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, señores. Felicidades.
Felicidades.